All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're doing something really cool. We're going to build a unified framework for success. We're taking three legendary philosophies on achievement and smashing them together into one single powerful model that you can actually start using like right now.
Okay, let's just start with the million-dollar question, right? Why do so many of us fail to hit our biggest goals? I mean, you've got the ambition, you've got the drive, but for some reason, those huge, life-changing goals just always seem to be just out of reach. What's going on there? Well, I'll tell you, the answer isn't just about working harder. It's about working smarter.
So, to put this thing together, we've gone deep. We've distilled the wisdom from three absolute legends: Napoleon Hill, Jared Tendler, and Grant Cardone. I mean, these guys are giants in the world of success, but you almost never see their ideas put together in one place. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to synthesize their best stuff to create one complete, powerful framework. So here's the game plan. First up, we'll design our destination with Napoleon Hill. Then we'll get our heads right and win the inner battle with Jared Tendler. After that, it's all about unleashing massive action with Grant Cardone. And finally, we'll put it all together to see the complete picture. All right, section one. Let's start at the very beginning with a foundation. I mean, think about it. If you're going to build a skyscraper, you don't just show up and start throwing bricks around, right? No way. You start with a super detailed, specific blueprint. And believe it or not, the exact same thing applies to building a successful life. And this is where Napoleon Hill's big idea comes in, the definite chief aim. Now, this isn't some fuzzy, vague wish like, oh, I want to be successful. No, this is a single, crystal clear, all-consuming purpose that guides every single thing you do. It's like your personal North Star for your entire journey. And Hill was pretty blunt about why this is so important. He said that a shocking 95% of people are just, well, they're drifting. They're like ships without a rudder, just floating aimlessly through life. And he argued that this lack of direction is the #1 killer of human potential. So why is this chief aim such a game changer? Well, for one, it focuses all your energy. It stops you from wasting effort on stuff that doesn't matter. It gives you this incredible persistence when things get tough because you know what you're fighting for. And here's a cool side effect. When you're that clear on your mission, people notice. They see that conviction and they actually want to help you. It basically turns all that scattered mental energy into a powerful, focused laser beam. Okay, so you've got your blueprint, courtesy of Napoleon Hill. Awesome. But let's be real. A blueprint is just a piece of paper if you don't have the engine to actually build the thing. And that brings us to our next piece, the inner game. This, right here, is where most big dreams just completely stall out. I mean, you know this feeling, right? You have the perfect plan. You know exactly what you're supposed to do. But then you hesitate. Or you make that dumb mistake you knew you shouldn't make. You get tilted, you get emotional, and suddenly you're completely off your own strategy. What is happening inside our own heads that makes us sabotage our best laid plans? And this is where Jared Tendler's work is so brilliant. See, most of us are taught to just suppress our emotions. Don't be angry, don't be scared. But Tendler says that's totally wrong. He argues that emotions aren't your enemy. They're actually data. They're signals, like a check engine light, telling you there's a flaw somewhere in your mental wiring that needs a fix. Tendler even has a name for that ugly state where we make our worst, most expensive mistakes. He calls it your C game. This is that moment when your emotions grab the steering wheel. You might even be screaming at yourself internally, don't do it, don't do it, but you feel totally powerless to stop. Your C game, that's where your beautiful blueprint goes to die. So how do you fix it? Well, the answer isn't just try harder or be more disciplined. No, it's a systematic process. First, you have to map out the pattern. What's the trigger that sends you into your C game? What are the thoughts that pop up? Step 2, you dig deeper to find the root cause, usually some flawed logic or a hidden belief. And finally, step 3, you create a new logical correction and you drill it over and over again until that new response becomes automatic. It's literally like being an engineer for your own mind. All right, let's recap. We've got a crystal clear blueprint from Hill. We've got a finely tuned mental engine thanks to Tendler. What's missing? The fuel. And I'm not talking about regular unleaded. We need the high-octane rocket-grade stuff. We need massive, relentless action. And that fuel can be boiled down to 2 simple characters, 10x. This whole idea, made famous by Grant Cardone, is about completely changing the way you think about effort and what's even possible. So, what is the 10x rule? It's not just work hard, it's a two-part system. Part one, you set targets that are 10 times bigger than what you currently want. I'm talking goals so huge, they sound a little crazy. Part two, you figure out how much work you think it'll take to get there, and then you commit to doing 10 times that amount of action.
And this really shows the huge difference between average thinking and 10x thinking. Most of us are taught to set realistic goals. But that kind of thinking is a recipe for falling short because it always, always underestimates how much effort is really needed. 10x thinking, on the other hand, just assumes there will be massive problems and plans for a level of action so huge that it can just steamroll any obstacle that gets in the way. And Cardone is relentless on this point. Success is not a lottery ticket. It's not something that just happens to you. It is the direct result of taking massive, proper actions, day in and day out. As he says, the more action you take, the luckier you seem to get.
Okay, so how does this all fit together? We've got the blueprint, we've got the inner game, and we've got the outer game. We've looked at them as separate things, but now it's time to snap them all together into one complete, powerful framework.
You see, the one big idea that connects all three of these thinkers is this. True, lasting achievement isn't random. It's not luck. It's the result of deliberate design. It's something you engineer, both inside your head and out in the real world. And when you put these three philosophies together, you get the system for doing exactly that. And here it is, the whole thing, the complete 3D success framework. It's so simple when you see it all together. You start with the blueprint from Napoleon Hill. That gives you direction. Then you add the inner game from Jared Tendler. That gives you mental durability. And you power the whole thing with the outer game from Grant Cardone. That gives you relentless drive. Direction, durability, and drive. That's it. That's the whole system.
Look, understanding this framework is great, but it's not enough. Now you have the blueprint. You have the diagnostic tool for your mind. You have the formula for the fuel. The only question left is, what are you going to do with it?